Look at that sexy beast.
Don't do that. Do it without knowing about it, yeah.
Hey y'all, as you can see, Mama's walking away, and Gregory's got a rod out over there fishing. He's putting some stuff back in the truck. But if you kind of recognize this place, you know, I think you might once we go like this. We made it up to Miller's, which y'all know is Peace and Grease. So there's Jen and there's Tim over there. So look at where we made it, man. So you can see the ass end of his truck over there. I can't remember what year that is, Tim.
Junk everywhere. That's a 68.
68. So that's a 68 Chevy.
It's actually a GMC, but
GMC, but it got a Chevy tailgate.
no difference to me.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, they're pretty much all the same truck, except maybe a rear end back then. But
yeah, when I got the truck, it didn't have a tailgate, and I ended up buying another bed just for the tailgate.
Right on.
The GMCs are harder to find. I like to find a GMC tailgate,
but right there, that's their rat rod build, the camper. So we'll get a better look at that after a little while.
I got it tore apart. This is a frame for it. I got to finish the frame.
So he's got the frame set in there. This is the front end to it?
That's the front of my 40 Chevy.
Oh, this is the front to her 40 Chevy. Yeah. We're kind of looking around. I mean, you just look around. There's like just things everywhere. You know, the big sexy dually there, and you know, his dad's El Camino up there and stuff. And
that's a 40 Chevy ramp truck, and her truck's a 40 Chevy. So those are two. Which is odd, but you know, the Chevys in there every year was different.
Yeah, so back then I think they pretty much was.
Well, like a 42 and a 46 look the same because, you know, the war. But the 39 looks similar, but a 40 is its own truck.
Yeah.
So it's kind of odd to have two of them.
Yeah, right on, right on.
The toolbox, yeah, I heard, did he ask about the toolbox?
Yeah. Well, we won't discuss that right now, but this little white house right over here is where we stayed last night. We were their first guests in their Airbnb, so, you know, you guys make sure if you want to come up here and do some shooting at the gun range or just come up and say hi to them, make sure you book them out. So you'll have to get a hold of I guess you guys are going to post it on Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah,
so it's already up, guys. So, you know, get your reservations in, be nice, respectful, you know.
If you look on our page, Peace and Grease, you type in Peace and Grease, it'll take you one of our pages and more info on it and stuff.
Right on, right on. So we came up to visit. You know, we went and hit the CatCon first, and since we was only 2 hours away, you know, I mean, we would have made the 12 and a half, I guess it's 13-hour drive up here, but we'd have made that for them for sure. But we kind of tried to make it a dual purpose thing, and we got her done. So we're here today, and we're going to try to help them get some stuff done and hopefully not annoy them too much. So, hey, y'all, yeah, just stay tuned. Well, let's see what we can do today. So
I got the same problem everybody else has. I don't have enough room.
I live in the middle of town, and I have no place to park. I park in the street. Yeah. I have no place to put extra, nothing in the back.
You ever watch Double D?
That's why I got one project at a time.
You ever watched Double D Speed Shop?
Yeah.
He lives in Canada, but he lives in town. But he has two like one-car garages or whatever, so he's always. But that's my excuse why the ramp truck's not done is because I can't get it in the barn. So I only work on it in warm weather, and then warm weather comes and goes. But,
pretty quick.
Yeah. But I got the motor in it, and next on that truck's put steering column in it and order a steering, like a steering U-joint.
Right on.
Like a 1-inch. But yeah, I'm gonna put another crippler inside there and then box it up and drop down again. I was cutting those the other day. I'm gonna drop the back down like the front. It'll weld all right on that thick stuff if it's wide open. Yeah. The problem with the Hobart is it would always spit and sputter. And I had to start putting small spools in it because it didn't have enough guts to pull the big spool.
Yeah,
it would go.
And I changed on my Hobart. I changed out that drive wheel 10 times because I had the same problem.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got that Miller, game changer.
Yeah. I started buying the smaller spools and it would do a little better.
Right on.
That stuff, that
no, I
it's real
seen
junky to
I
weld.
seen the other weld, and yeah, this is the old steel.
It's real junky to weld too.
Well,
No one ever taught me how to weld. Yeah. One day I was renting a shop with these guys, and he had a welder in there, and when no one was around, I just started building a truck. And I was like, here's your new tank of gas, here's a new, and I just started going at it. But it might break in half going down the road, you never know. That'd make for better video.
Oh,
that'd be your million count video right there.
I did have big chains underneath the bed, and every time we'd go to a car show, people would look around there and say, what are them chains for? And I had the bed.
He was nervous.
I had the bed chained.
Oh, you chained the bed down?
You see where it's bent. I went around those bed, the old cab mount, and went up inside the bed, and I'm going to put them back on. And I had chains on both sides with binders pulled tight. And somebody said, what the heck are you doing? I said, man, I had a dream where the flatbed was laying in the middle of the intersection with the gooseneck still hooked to it. So those are, it's not going to come off.
Right on.
But yeah, to it. And I got another tank. I'm going to need more. I might put this tank under it.
So this is the horn blaster that he installed in the big truck. So what do you guys call this truck? Does it have a name yet?
We thought we needed to name stuff when we started YouTube.
Yeah.
Because
everybody seems to name things on YouTube.
Yeah, so one day we were sitting around and was like, what would we name it? And she said, I said, it's like the Green Devil or something. She said, Diablo Verde. So it's on the shirts, but I don't think that's its name.
It's the Green Devil in Spanish, but
I call him Elvis.
yeah, he calls it Elvis.
I call it Elvis, and everybody's like,
Because it's the
So-
of the fleet.
why you call it Elvis? I said, you see, when we go somewhere, everybody flocks to it. It's like the junkiest thing at the show, but we drove,
But
we
everybody
use it,
loves it.
so people
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
And, so I refer to him as Elvis. A lot of people call their stuff he or she, but he's a he. It's Elvis. He's the king. And the reason there's more to that king stuff. You ever listen to bluegrass music?
Yeah.
So Jimmy Martin called himself the king. Jimmy Martin was the rebel of bluegrass music. He didn't do what anyone told him to. And if you was the greatest guitar player in the world, he'd tell you, pick it up, son. Come on, speed up, get on, keep up, And he had his bus said the king of bluegrass music. Well, clearly Ralph Stanley was the king, or Flat and Scruggs, or other people. But Jimmy Martin was a self-promoter, and he called himself the king. So,
Right on.
Self-proclaimed.
so this truck is the king, and it don't mean nothing, because it's not. It don't mean it's anything different than anybody else, but it's my king.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call stuff. I named that car 8-Lug Thug, and then I didn't finish it, and I built everything 8-lug, so I've been calling this the 8-Lug Thug 2.0, but I think you should only name vehicles if you're a racer or if you're famous, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I really never named any of my vehicles, but sometimes I thought about it, and it's like, since I lost my dog Daisy about 15 years ago, every truck I got I just called Daisy. So
Yeah. Then when you got a blue truck, you ever owned a blue truck?
yeah.
It's the blue truck.
Yeah.
It don't matter how many
Yeah.
of them you've had. When you have a blue truck, you just, I'm gonna go take the blue truck, or the army truck, or I just call it C50 a lot. But I guess I'm getting enough of them that I need to start just naming them 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5,
There you
and
go.
6. I'm gonna go grab an Allen wrench real quick.
Okay, so this is the horn blaster setup that he did in one of his videos, so check it out for sure, and give Horn Blaster a little bit of love, because they gave Peace and Grease a little love. So plug your ears.
Hey, my hearing aids and the.
There, was that loud enough for you? What? I can't hear a thing.
So you don't call your Rambler anything?
No, the Rambler.
It's got some.
Yeah, I got a 64 V8 Rambler. So if y'all go back and watch some of them videos, it's been a chore, but we just always called it the Rambler.
going on there?
I don't know.
The screws pulled through the rubber grommets.
Rattled them out.
Gotta fix that while we're here. I used the stuff they sent. Well, it's a good thing I was working on it.
Have your pump jumping around in there.
That one's so tight it's bottomed out. Just spinning. We'll get to it. It's gonna be.
That other one, they pulled clear through.
Yeah. Here. I'll grab it. You ever chop a top?
No.
Me neither. Am I doing it right?
But I don't know. That's probably kind of about how I would do it. I mean, the Z notches.
So I watched a lot of YouTube, and I started watching how to chop a 35 forward. And then I cut the back out because I'm gonna cut that out too. I just do.
Yeah, when you first started doing that, I almost thought you was going to build a pass through.
It will be kind of, just kind of like because of the Z of the frame.
Yeah.
It'll be more of like small storage for us to just reach back,
just so you could reach
snacks or extra shirt or something.
Right on.
And then because I also like to make things hard on myself, I cut the gauge bezel out because I was looking at it and the dash was made the same. They were pressed the same. And I noticed the glove box was the same as the gauges. And this is top secret info, but Village Customs, it's going to end up being a lot more work. And I don't know how I'll do the steering. I may end up having to do hydraulic steering on it, which Corey did on the mousetrap. So I'll have to ask him more on that. But once again, I got to stay in that budget. But as of now, I found a 4-speed with a transfer case for like $300. He has both drive shafts, and I'll probably go with that. Jeep Chevy.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna make the front end 4-wheel drive, and then I'm gonna 4-link the front, the Z of that frame. I'll put more brackets in there, and that'll be my strength. And I'll do a 4-link on that, and just going to use coils. Those are 2014 Dodge Cummins coil springs, so they'll be fine for this in the front. And I don't want to bag everything because I'm not really an airbag guy. I airbag this just.
Well, with a $5,000 budget, you start throwing airbag in there, it's going to be going quick.
Yeah, that kit in there was like $1,300,
yeah.
And you can piece it together cheaper. But I may do air in the back for the 2 rear axles. I may have air back there because I ain't sure how heavy none of that stuff weighs yet. But just then I gotta weigh my options on what engine to use at this point. Yeah. I wouldn't put a diesel in it, but as far as that budget goes, and actually cash in hand, you know, it slows that down. I got a nice 4.8 over there, and I got a couple big block Chevys, so we'll see.
Any of them would push it.
Yeah.
The diesel would be cool.
Yeah.
I think the diesel would be really cool.
Well, yeah, because if I ran a diesel, I was going to put a little chimney, little crooked fucking chimney, and make it look like a fireplace. Yeah, make it actually work, but
that'd be cool.
On he used a Chevy van.
You're losing your washers.
I was going to lose that whole setup. Upgrade.
Well, I'm made for this job. I hold what you need.
Need that one bolt pushed up. That push that one up. There you go. All right, here's what we got. These little bushings go in the rubber. We could probably use the Phillips head, but it just needs a bigger washer. I started getting drips, so I shut it off and I went to the house. I come back down next day and under each puddles of brake fluid, everywhere there was a connection that I had made. You know, no one's perfect, I guess. And my tool was junk. Like, I was doing double flares, but it wasn't a good flare. And then when I would tighten it to the rubber line, it would just collapse. That it wasn't double flaring it enough.
Yeah.
And then I didn't buy the $300 tool, but I just went on there and bought. I went on Amazon and bought it goes in, and it did all. So I got really discouraged, and I walked away from it for a couple weeks or something, you know. And if that would have been my only vehicle, I would have got nothing done because it was in my head, you know. So I was building that or doing other stuff, but I guess, you know, that's why I got so much stuff. And people say, you got too many projects. You got too many projects. Like, I don't think I got enough.
Yeah.
I want more.
You've got enough room here to add a few more.
I always just did it for hobby, man. But then, you know, I guess if you stick a camera in front of your face, you gotta act like you know what you're doing. Let me put these. I'll have to get more.
Oh, you got those.
That might have been.
Truck was about a foot taller. I could just wheel right underneath.
We love this truck. I had a guy offer me a decent semi for it, but I knew I wouldn't be able to insure the semi very good, and it was an older cab over. But you know, the value of the trade was probably there, but we just love this thing. You know, we drove it to Florida and back. So people, I think the biggest reaction is when you're going down the highway and people see you running 80. That surprises them.
Especially when they see the front end coming and then you go and pass them.
Yeah, truckers love it. You know, well, not all American truckers love it, I should say, but the other ones don't even look. But yeah, you're used to seeing these old trucks going 30, 40 mile an hour, you know, hauling grain. And the number one killer of these trucks are the brakes. And I was watching Anthony's the other day, and Hardcore Fab, you see his newest video?
Yeah.
He's talking about those, they had dual wheel cylinders in the back, and just so many areas to leak. And every one of these C50s you see online, it's like $1,500, needs brakes.
Yeah.
You know?
They usually say needs brakes.
The craziest thing, I've bought and sold a lot of stuff, and I had the original frame out here, and I put the original C50 frame on a C50 page because it was a power steering, and it still had the motor and everything. And I thought somebody might want it because it's a power steering truck. A lot of them were. So I just had it for like $300 for sale, the whole thing, on Marketplace. And this guy from Chicago started messaging me and asked me how much I wanted for the wheels and tires. Bias ply, mix match, dry rotted, split rim, wheels and tires. At first I thought it was a joke. And he's like, no, I want them. I really need them. And I'm like, they're split rim. He's like, I know. I need them. I really need them. And I was like, well, $250, $200. He could have bought the whole frame, but if you're selling something and somebody asks you for a price, you got to put a price on it. Forget this. He drove here from Chicago in like a Chrysler minivan with no seats other than the front two, and that was his work truck, man. The rollers needed wheels and tires.
Oh, right on.
And there's an ass for every seat, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The junkyard won't even take them.
Yeah.
And he come here and he whipped out $200, and everyone we put in the van and off he went. And I was like, I just stood here and stared at the money, and I part of me felt guilty, but another part of me was like dumbfounded. You know what I mean? Like, I just sold split rim, bias ply.
There's one in every bunch.
Well, they put them in shipping containers, so he wanted just skinny tires, and he didn't care. And they're buying them and shipping them back. You ever get it all done? But what I need to do is we'll take a level and make a reference measurement point, and then make these the exact same because they're different.
Yeah.
And then this, what I'll do,
cross
I'll get it over here close to the barn, and we'll get this up. We'll put a level on it. We'll put a level on this. I ain't worried about the front.
You grab the front end, I'll grab the back end and move it.
Yeah, I just pull around with that strap.
I'm setting on a dolly.
But yeah, we could, if you If you want to get down and do something, we
yeah,
can do that. And then we'll cut this out. I'll cut this out, and I'll get some stuff out. Oh. And you get all that weld surface in there, pile it on, and it's rounded. I kind of like how it's rounded, so you can just bury that first line in there as far as it'll go. Turn the little piece of shit up and let it eat. First time I did one of these, I left my tail too short. I think I filled it in, or I redid it or something. I don't even know where I came up with this. Have you ever seen anybody do that?
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Bird beaking it.
Huh?
Yeah. Bird beaking it.
Is that what you call it? I'm still gonna put plates over it, probably.
Yeah, I would.
Probably have somebody make me some plates that already got holes stamped in it.
Down.
Just do some filling the welds.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to put fish plates on it.
Yeah.
You hit a good heavy pothole that a few of them that we hit on the way up, it might crack it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm on a plate.
It'd make a good video. It'd go, tink.
Devastation isn't the way I want to get famous. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But it's all gonna be underneath that thing. But you still wanna put your name on it. I ain't no pro. I'm not a pro. I'm just not afraid to fuck up. That's the difference. How do you know if you're fucking up if nobody
says you are, you don't know.
Truck sat in a barn for its whole life since my buddy got it. Well, whoever it was. I can't work and talk. I think it's just dead on 40. I see my mark up here.
That just broke.
I saw that.
I broke the desk and it went for a run.
Oh, dang. Didn't cut your face off, did it?
No, it ran out from underneath me. They said I ain't having none of this no more.
Most dangerous tool on earth. Get one clamp on it, then I'll work the scrap.
I got it.
I'll come back. That may not be perfect. Hey, Chad here. What's this guy's name? Got Nathan here on the putting this motor in. I love Bad Chad, dude. I love his freedom. No luck.
On it?
Nah, you're alright. There's enough.
Yeah, I don't think you got enough shield gas to push it.
Probably ain't. When I was welding on that roof in there, tack welding, it was so good. That was a lot more than the other side, wasn't it?
I wasn't expecting it. It scared me.
Really expect it to go off that hard either.
Okay, I may not be a master wine, but look, master welder. I'm that master grinder.
I'm real good on the grinder. Like Charlie Daniels on the grinder. So there's room in there. There's actually heat in that garage from the furnace. So that's where that truck will live. Then I can get my truck in here and we can start doing stuff. Like I got a 9-inch Ford to put in the back of it. I already got that. And that'd be easy to do. Teach her to do some stuff, you know what I mean? Get her doing stuff. And I got a 350 in it. I pulled out that motor home and carburetor. I poured some gas down it, had it running in 10 seconds, you know what I mean? Fuel injection, I never got it running, but I had never heard it run. The motorhome had sit behind our mound back there for 25 years. Somebody drove it in here and abandoned it. And that's the rear end, and that's the motor and transmission.
Right on.
And then I met another guy down Daytona that I had loaded the stuff into my dump trailer before I left for Daytona. I was going to come home and scrap it, you know, get me some money back from the trip. I met another guy down there. He's like, I'll watch all your stuff. And we stood there and talked for 3 or 4 hours. And he said, I mean, he was up to date. He says, what are you doing with that 1-ton suspension out of that motorhome? And I said, well, I put it in my dump trailer. You know, I had a hell of a time getting it in there, but I got it in there. And when I get home, I'm going to scrap it. And he says, well, I'd like to have that. I'll give you something for it, but I need that. Well, I'm not one to throw something away that somebody needs, but I already had it loaded and it was in the trailer. It was money in the pocket, you know? And so I got it loose. And I unloaded the stuff from the trailer and cut that front end out of that motorhome frame, which it's a unibody frame. So he's coming to get that, but it was a job getting it out of there. And they're going to drive all the way up here to get it. And he must really want it. That's what they put under them. You could take a square body front cross member and put it under that truck.
Yeah.
For just modern dip brakes and stuff.
Yeah, right on. So you said you're going to cut the ends off once you get those put in there. You make them a little shorter than the front.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. Go up in here and I'll probably
well, if you cut that back almost level, you'd be able to scrape the ground for sure.
yeah it I don't want to get hung up is my only problem, but I do want to also have a trailer hitch on the back of it.
Yeah,
so I'll probably come all the way across with a big thick piece of that 2x3 and then recess a hitch into it.
Right on. And,
so what'll probably happen here is I'll just flatten it with, you know what I mean? 45 it, just so it did lay. If it does, I haven't decided if I'm gonna do coil springs or airbags.
Right on. Well, I can at least say I got one good weld and one ground weld.
I gave him.
When I see this thing riding down the road, I'll be like, "Hey, I'll put a weld on that."
I mean, we're gonna go try to win the whole daggone thing.
Oh yeah, so. If you ain't gonna try to win it, why do it?
Yeah. There's I just drug this out the other day before you got here, so I didn't have a lot of time to get all my stuff prepped, but we ran out of welding wire. If we would have had more wire, we'd probably got both those back pieces in, but we've been talking and getting to know each other and everything. Don't have to get it. Rome wasn't built in a day, huh? So, you know what I say? It might be crooked. I'm still gonna drive it.
You damn right. and I'm so close to driving mine. I could actually have mine running and driving in probably about an hour, just by throwing the car back on, connecting the alternator, and dumping fuel in it.
Yeah.
Because I cleaned the tank out.
Sometimes you need to do that to get yourself reestablished. You know.
Naomi said I can't start the damn thing until I get the top painted, so I put the windows back in it.
Yeah.
She's like, you're not driving that with no windshield.
Sometimes you put things together 3 or 4 times, take it apart, put it back together, take it apart. But yeah, we're glad you guys came out and got to meet you. We've been meeting a lot of people, and then sometimes you just modern society, you know each other without even meeting each other.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's nice to get to meet each other. We're similar guys, and we like the same stuff. So it was good you got to come over and at least grind some steel and hang out, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's always, set this here. It's always good to get your pants dirty to help a friend out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we just met each other, but as far as I'm concerned, we're friends, brother.
Yeah.
So
we YouTube, you know, and I was telling him at dinner last night that I want to I watched this movie as a kid called Mask, and the guy, he had something wrong with him, but he had a map, and he would put thumbtacks everywhere he wanted to visit. He knew he knew he like wouldn't live forever, so he wanted to go see things.
He had elephantitis.
Yeah, remember that movie?
Yep.
Cher
and him.
And his dream was to travel.
It was based on a true story.
Yeah, well, I like to travel too, and since I've met people now just from YouTube, and for less than a year, I know people from Miami all the way to California, you know, that I've actually met and sit and talk to and stuff at different shows and everything. So it opens doors. It may not, you know, it may not ever reach the heights that other people do, but success is measured in miles to me. It's where I can take my home built creations and go, if you build it yourself, it tastes better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like a a garden.
You get that feeling of you know, I did that.
Yeah.
I really did that. I got that done, man. It just works so well together.
And it always feels good to be recognized by your peers.
Yeah.
You know. So
well,
that's like when we went to that car show and we got that award. I didn't go there to win awards. I didn't even clean the truck. And then we won I teared up, you know what I mean?
I seen that and I was so happy for you, brother.
I was like, this is good. This is cool, you know. But
hey,
it's
we're filming. Yeah, we you're here. We got to get some booty shot in there. Yeah, no. I greatly appreciate y'all letting us come up and visit you, and it just, I mean, it's been real nice. I mean, like I said, if we'd had more welding supplies, maybe we'd have got a little bit further, but you know.
But hey, at least you know where we're at, and if you ever want to come back, you know, at least you know now.
Well, next time I come back, maybe we'll have a camper or something, stay up at the campgrounds, get to experience that pleasure, and get to come down here too, and just visit. I mean, we'll be back. And if you're ever down in Kansas way,
how far you live from Illinois? Like Langley, Illinois. I don't really know where that's at.
Well, quite a ways.
Like 6 hours?
No, it's 8 hours to get to St. Louis for us.
I was gonna say you should go to that show in September, man. It's gonna be 300 entries. You know, some won't show up, maybe me included. But have you ever been anywhere where you've seen 200 to 300 new builds? I mean,
no.
that's big.
No.
So
we have a big car, you know, the Daryl Starberg car show and stuff.
I've seen that.
But those seem to be the same cars every year.
I seen Anthony went to that. That was insane, man. That looked like a good show if you've never been to it.
This last few years, though, what I was going to say about the Daryl Starberg car show is I don't think it's called that no more. I think it's just like the Starberg or Daryl.
Starberg.
I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, Anthony from Hardcore Fab, he went down there and he did. I mean, it was an awesome show. And the cars that I saw, it was like they had all new stuff there. So. Since it's changed names, it's not like back when we used to go to it, we'd go to it every year, and it was the same cars every year. There might be a dozen new ones.
We had Carl Casper's Cavalcade of Customs, and they would have the Thrill ball of steel with the motorcycle, and they would have famous people, and every year, because modern day society keeps changing, every year it gets worse and worse. Like, you know who they had there this year? The meet and greet. Twisted Sister singer.
Oh yeah,
he's cool, but what's his? I forget his name. But daggone, at a car show, I want to meet Daisy Duke. I met Ed Roth down there when I was a kid and got a shirt signed and stuff. So, yeah, you're right. The car shows are changing, and we went down there to the one in Cincinnati, and everybody had their carpet and their hardwood, and we went there for setup day, and these guys are laying 2,000 square foot of hardwood to put their hot rod on with mirrors and stuff, and I'm like,
I'm rolling in with the cow shit still on the bottom of the truck.
Yeah, but I didn't know it, but that show, because we entered it and they denied us. We was gonna put that in, and they denied us. And then my buddy got us in at the last minute in a Survivor Alley, and when I went down there and walked around, I realized why they denied us, and I didn't realize that was the Grand Champion show. And the main cars on the floor with the displays, that they points show.
Yeah.
They travel around and they show.
So they earn points as they go through the shows through the year, or
and that's the final show. Whoever wins is the champion. And the car that won was a 34 Chevy. Like, it used to be a 34 Ford, but now it's a 34 Chevy. They've rebodied it. It's so over the top. Like, I was telling Jennifer, I'm like, the brake rotors are chrome. And I was like, do you know what that means? She's like, no. I was like, no one can ever push the brake pedal.
Yeah, because it'll blue.
They're probably not even adjusted, right? You know what I mean? So that's, and they didn't want my junk on the floor.
Well, I don't want to, here's my thing is, I want the car to look nice in the other lane going the other way.
Yeah.
And I've with this Rambler, I way overthought the process and I just way overdid. But I'm to the point now where I'm just going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it in single stage, basically, you know, just get it done, looking good. I want a cruiser. I want something I can drive. I've had this car 6 years. It's driving me nuts.
Does he know what he's holding?
You know what you're holding, Gregory?
You know what that is?
A gear shifter.
No. I like fab rats when they ask his wife what parts are and she's guessing. Do you know what it is?
Do I know what that is?
What he's holding?
Let me see it. Looks like an
Kickdown bracket.
Oh, for
turbo 350.
Yeah.
Sure,
it'll go on the it'll go on the right on the back of the carb like this.
Cable goes into that.
Yeah.
Turbo 350.
And that goes like that.
The throttle. Is that the throttle?
It's
cable?
the throttle
And the
I thought it
spring.
was part of a
and the
shifter.
spring.
See, I was
shifter.
wrong. I knew where it went, but
I thought it was part of the shifter.
good
Name that
find.
part.
Good catch.
Good find. It's gold.
Yeah, you better put it in the shop.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, Tim, it was awesome to get to meet you, like I said, and I want to thank y'all for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the video that we got out of this and getting to meet Tim and
Just
and
a
Jen.
regular guy
and,
that ain't afraid to mess up.
yeah,
That's all. That's all everybody's got to do is just don't be afraid to mess up.
well, you got to mess up 1,000 times and get it over to get good to
If a
it.
car's been sitting, for any period of time, any work you do to it is progressive.
Yeah.
It's not you. No one can tell you you're doing it wrong because everyone else gave up on that particular car. So do it how you want. Mold you some fins onto it, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Put two
Well,
motors in.
if it's just sitting out there in the middle of the field for the last 20 years, what are you going to do? Just let it sit there and rust away to nothing, like some of these, older things are starting
Make
to
you
do.
a frame out of junk with a crappy welder and go cruising with your friends.
And just pray that all the welds hold.
The spirit of hot rodding.
Yep.
It only takes one weld to fail.
Yeah. But hey, y'all, I appreciate each and every one of you. Be blessed and have a great day, and go build something, damn it. See you later. All right, you guys, we are definitely done with our trip now. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We fixing to shut the door on the Airbnb at Tim and Jen's. So, we got to give them one more little finale. Get that little cold start going in the morning, and the last hot rod sound my truck will make here. So, hey y'all, you guys got to check these people out. They are such a great couple. Peace and grease. Tim and Jen. Go give them some love, a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up, make some comments. They're just awesome people. So y'all be blessed. We on our 13.5-hour drive home to Kansas. See ya.